Alright, so for 1 minute you're just going to go up and down off the step for 1 minute, and then after 1 minute you're going to go down to a crunch. So make sure that your feet are flat on the floor, hands behind your head, just up into a crunch for a minute. And then after that, you're going to do a squat. So feet hip apart, chest up, and then you go down, squeeze your bottom way down, and straight back up. For a minute. And then I'll give you a minute break, and then we'll do 2 more rounds after that. Okay? Alright, let's get started. So, set the timer to go for 1 minute. I'll tell you when to move to your next exercise. Alright, go. Core is embraced. 30 seconds left. You're not feeling that in your neck at all? 20 seconds. Last exercise is a body weighted squat. So just remember, feet hip apart, chest up all the way down, and squeeze your butt. Go. Go. Nice and straight. Chest up. How's that on your knees? Yeah, that's good. 20 seconds. Seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. How did you find that? Good. No sore anywhere? No. Cool. So you get a minute recovery, and then you've got 2 more rounds after that. Okay, with special populations, there's a couple of different medical conditions or injuries to consider. With any medical or health condition that has been identified by a client, it's important to understand the level and extent of the injury or illness. From there, it's important to set out if they have any other if they have any medication that they are currently taking, or if they're receiving any treatment for an injury or illness. It's also important to know, as they may suffer from certain side effects from taking the medication, and that may impact on certain exercises that they are allowed to do, and that goes with also an injury as well. If unsure or you're concerned about your client's medical condition, you can refer them to an allied health professional just to gain clearance, or also just to get some further information about what's going on either with their illness or injury. So in my training today, if my client was to have high blood pressure, I would check at the start of the session their resting blood pressure, just to ensure that it's not at a high level. Otherwise it would not be safe to train my client and I'd have to cease the session. After checking their blood pressure, I would then check to see if they are currently on any medications, and also if they know of any side effects that they've had whilst taking those medications. For cardio and innervated cardio, I would ensure that it's at a level that's not going to raise their blood pressure too high to an unsafe level, and any strength training is not going to cause too much stress or strain. Instead of fast sprints on the bike, I would simply get them to go on the treadmill, but at a fastened pace, but not too fast that it's actually going to raise their blood pressure levels. The next one is lower back pain. So if my client had presented with lower back pain, I would check with them to see if they are being treated for it or have been treated for it in the past, and also maybe what caused their lower back pain. Sometimes that can be a bit of an indication. It could just be from lifting heavy things or something like that. I would then change the exercises that I had in place, and that would place any strain on their lower back, such as performing a push-up against the wall instead of performing a push-up on their knees, where they would be still placing pressure on their lower back. So doing it up against the wall would be a lot safer. And also using their own body weight instead of using a weight for things such as lunges or squats. If my client was experiencing pain during a session, I would stop the session and either change the exercise, or depending on how severe the pain was, we may have to cease the session. So exercises that could aggravate my clients with lower back pain, I would avoid. Such things as skipping, rowing or running. I would probably replace them with low impact moves such as step ups or a seated ride. So just a nice easy ride on one of the stationary bikes. And for my final special populations is a client with a shoulder injury. So if my client presented with a shoulder injury, I would ask them if they are receiving treatment for it, also whereabouts in the shoulder it is. It could be in the front or the back, and also what the injury might be if they do know. It could be a tear, and I don't want to do more damage to that. I'd also check to see what movements they know do actually aggravate their shoulder, and also what exercises cause pain in their shoulder. Also be good to check their range of motion, so what movement they've actually got in their shoulder, because from personal experience I know that a shoulder injury, you do have a limited range of motion and it can be quite painful performing certain exercises. For their cardio exercise, I would get them to use a treadmill instead of the rower, just to reduce strain on their shoulder. And during the strength session, I would avoid movements that cause pain in the shoulder, which may be due to limited range of motion, and things such as single arm exercises. So a dumbbell press, I would probably replace with a barbell just for that stability, because you will favour one side more than the other. And I would focus on building the strength around the injured area instead of actually trying to exercise the actual shoulder itself. And also refer them, if they haven't already had a referral, to have their shoulder looked at. Okay, thank you. Alright, so the last part's stretching after we've worked all of our muscle groups. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quad stretch, standing quad stretch. So what you'll do Shoulders back. Your foot here. Pull it back. Keep your shoulders stretched and look straight in front and just hold it for 10 to 15 seconds. So you should feel it all the way through the front leg. Fantastic balance. And then change feet. Yeah. Just pull your foot in so you can feel it. Are you feeling it in the front of your foot? Yeah. Alright, well done. And so the next stretch that we'll do is just stretching your lats out because we've done a bit of work up through here and through your shoulders. So what we're going to do is place your hands together and then you'll put them over the top of your head, stretch right up, and then you're going to lean to one side and just hold that stretch, and you should feel it all the way down your side. Are you feeling it all through here? Yeah. And up. And then reposition yourself and then to the other side. Really good stretches to stretch all those muscles out, especially the upper back and the lats. And up. And well done. Thank you for the session today. How did you find it?
Yes.
Good. I'll get in contact with you within the next couple of days to organise another session.
Yep.
Yep. And we'll just keep recording your data and